strength. No.
This is divine punishment! This is divine! It shall be engraved upon your soul! Divine assault! Nibalang Velesti! Return from whence you came! Get thee hence! Oblivion awaits thee!
This is Streetscape, and the gameplay video that you just checked out was Valkyrie Profile for the PS1, which is one of the recent pickups I got. This game is really, really rare. I had to get this online, and it was about 70 to 80 bucks. But looking at the inside, it looks brand new. That's why I like the disc looks brand new. It doesn't look scratched at all. So that's what I was really proud about. It's a really good purchase. It had the manual and everything. So next up, I have, oh man, this is a long title. Super Robot Tyson OG Saga Endless Frontier. Wow. So this is a Nintendo DS game. I saw a gameplay video for it and it looked pretty cool. It's an action RPG. You have basically a limited amount of turns. You can do like all these crazy combos. The more you level up, the more moves you know. And the more moves that you learn, it consumes more MP, your magic power. You have to pretty much strategize on what type of moves you want to use. So it'll be a lot more easier to get used to the battle system and everything. But the battle system is very simple. You can actually switch like in and out of characters. So basically, you can cancel one of your attacks and then switch to another character and continue the combos. And each character has like these crazy specials, and it's really cool to see. So I think it's a really fun game. It's about $30. Next is Rock Band 2 for the DS. I didn't have any problems with it. The only problem, well, no, it's Rock Band 3. The only problem that I had was I wish that there was a touch screen where you can like use the touch screen instead of just pressing buttons. But other than that, I found the game very fun and worth $20 brand new, so I couldn't argue with that. Next, I might as well put this out there. It's the PS3. It's the 160 gig. Had to get it for $250. You know what's funny? I won this PS3 in a contest. You see, you see, Evan the Tech Help guy was okay. I won't bring that up ever again. But it's funny, but but no, seriously, I actually bought it for $250. It was when it was $250, so I pretty much got that. It was worth the buy. I've been playing it for a while now, and I actually got a few games for it. I downloaded some games also. Mortal Kombat Collector's Edition, Flower, which is a really relaxing game. It's very peaceful. And I got Arcana Hearts, which I posted gameplay up for not too long ago. So the games that I got is for that, well, for PS3, Yakuza 3. A very fun beat 'em up. I need to get 4, and it looks like 4 is probably going to be the same as the other ones. I don't think Yakuza changes that much, which is something that I really like. It just keeps it simple. It doesn't try to make it complex or anything. So the story is really good. There's a lot of dialogue in the Yakuza 3. A lot of dialogue. Even though I've never played Yakuza 2 or the first one, they actually give you like insight on how the story was from Yakuza 1 to Yakuza 2. And he, like the main character, narrates to it. So even if you don't know the Yakuza series and you play through 3, you pretty much get a grasp of what the story is about, and how you pretty much catch up to the story from 1 all the way to 3. So it's a really fun game. Next is I hate these used stickers, by the way. I really hate these used games. It's so generic. But next is Infamous, which is very fun. It's a sandbox game. It's your typical sandbox game. You run around, you get to decide whether you want to do good or bad choices. Whichever choices you make, it pretty much reflects on your powers. And also, the more enemies or whatever good or bad acts that you do, you get experience points. and you use those to upgrade. It's pretty much typical stuff. It's really fun, very addictive. You pretty much interact with basically everything, and that's what I love about it. It's a very fun game. I really do like the story. It's very simple. I don't know how the bad ones are, like what you do for the bad section of the story, but I'm going through the good section first because I always feel like doing the evil sections will probably be a lot easier. I mean, I know it's probably stupid for me to say, but I think going through the evil sections will be a lot easier than just going through the good sections, because you got to worry about this and not to hurt any civilians and all that other stuff. So I really did enjoy that game. I'm still getting through it, but it's really fun. Next is Deus Ex Human Revolution. Haven't gotten too far on it. I've actually just gotten through the first mission, and I do like the variety that it offers you. For one thing, you get to decide on what type of gameplay you want to. Your style is basically do you want to stealth through the whole level? Do you want to not be seen by enemies, or do you just want to go all out and just shoot enemies? And I tried the stealth mission. I can't do it. I cannot do it. It's a lot more difficult than I expected, but it's definitely challenging. So I just said, forget it. I'm just gonna go all out and just use guns. So that's how my style is. But you know, it pretty much reflects on that. It might. I'm not sure, but it seems like it reflects on your upgrades too. I don't know. But either way, it looks pretty fun. I've never played the Deus Ex series. I've heard there's like a few more before this, but it's really good.
Protect and serve had become protect and serve the corporate interests.
Next, I show gameplay for this.
Nice to see she was right.
Capcom versus SNK 2, and I do like it. It's a very deep 2D fighter. You basically have characters from the Capcom series, which is Street Fighter, Darkstalkers, Final Fight. Those characters, they pretty much collaborate against SNK characters, Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, Art of Fighting, and so on. You have different groove sets, and what these are basically collaborations from their previous games. What I mean by that is, if you played the Capcom games and you know the gauges where you do specials and your super meters, whatever, they pretty much have them in different categories. So they reflect them on the first three letters. So Capcom is CAP, and of course SNK is SNK. And each one of those letters reflects on your power meter. So whichever groove that you favor the most, then it suits you. So I think that was pretty cool. There is a GameCube version. There's a GameCube and an Xbox version, and they have a different set where you can use the analog stick, like the right analog stick. It's basically a shortcut. So if you're new to the fighting game genre and you don't really know much about their specials, it's better for you to interact with the right analog stick because it's easier. And I thought that was pretty cool, so I might have to get the GameCube version so it'll be easier to play too. And it's a very deep fighting game. I really do enjoy it. Next, God of War Collection, which the reason why I bought this is because I was new to the series, and I do like it. There's you can do a lot of things in this game. I was just like, wow, like there's so much stuff that you can do to just chain combos with it, and it's crazy. So I picked this up. The story, I don't know, like the story seems pretty straightforward. It doesn't seem like it's complex or anything like that, so you have nothing to worry about storyline wise. The battle system is really good. It's a really good game. I'm only playing through the first one. I haven't even played through the second one, so I like it so far. I need to get the. I was actually thinking about getting the. Was it the Ghost of Sparta collection or something like that? I was thinking about getting that, but I might hold off until I get through with those first two games. Well, first three I might have to get God of War 3. So until then, I might get the Origins, whatever that game's called. I can't even think of it. So yeah. Next up is SmackDown vs. Wild 2011, and I do like where this one is going. It's a lot there for a lot more variety. You can create your own character, of course. I don't know if you can create your own story. I mean, well, you can create. I think you can create your own story, but I don't know if you can use your created character for the story, like have your own type of set of stories, like how they did like in No Mercy. I don't know. I don't think they can. I don't think they offered it on this one. This is kind of weird because I'm just so used to having your created character have their own story. So I don't know about that, but you can create your own matches. You can even set your own cutscenes. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, there's a lot of content for this game, and the battle system's pretty good too. But also, it's really fun. I just picked this up because I needed a wrestling game. I needed some wrestling games. So yeah. Next is Valkyrie Profile 2. I actually forgot to show this along with the first Valkyrie Profile. I played a little bit of this, and I've got to say it's a lot different than the first one. It's in, well, of course, besides the fact being that it's 3D, your battle system, like the way it is set up, is in a 3D environment, so you have to run forward towards the enemies. And the first one was actually more simple. The second one seems like it's more complex because I fought the first boss, and you basically have to like go behind them. You have to like ignore his attacks while you're going behind him, and it's kind of difficult because once you attack, it's basically set in a side scroll, you know, traditional side scroll RPG kind of thing. So it's difficult trying to avoid his attacks while trying to get behind him to attack him. But other than that, I can't really say much about it. I've been playing the first one more than the second one, and I can tell you a lot about the first one, but not much about the second one because I didn't want to get too far ahead and then just lose track of like, oh, well, how did this happen? How did this happen? Without playing the prequel first. So next is Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, and to be quite honest, I don't like the game, but I just want to show, like, for me, I didn't like it. I just want to show how bad it was. Like, for me, I didn't like it, but some people do. I respect that. I'm not gonna say you're stupid or whatever. If you like it, fine. If you don't, fine. I didn't. So I just wanted to show some gameplay footage for this. So that's gonna have to hold out for a little bit. And this one is El Shaddai, which is an awesome game, by the way. You're playing as basically God's right-hand man, and he's basically fighting these fallen angels. Very simplistic story. It's not really complex at this point. It probably will be later on, but I do like the combat system, and the art style is beautiful. Beautiful art style. So I love where they were going with this game. It's a beautiful game. I've gotten a little bit far into it, but I haven't been there at all.
Tell me, boy, have you never lifted anything heavier than a pen?
Next is Split Second. Man, I'm having a hard time talking today. Split Second. Basically, it's a racing game where you interact with the environment. And the way that you do this is you start drifting, or if you pretty much tail like anyone who's in front of you, if you just track them, you have this meter at the bottom where it shows your gauge going up, steadily going up, of course. And once it goes up to a certain point, you can press A or B and you do like all these takedowns. So it's a really good game too. Next game I have is Bulletstorm. It is the Epic Edition, but the reason why I got this one is because it's the only one available on my GameStop. And this is one of the funniest FPS games that I have ever played. And which isn't really saying much because there's not really a lot of FPS games that are funny, but this is freaking hilarious. And not to mention the gameplay is very fun. If I could pick a game that's kind of similar to it in a way, like in the gameplay mechanic, I could say it's like Mad World, but with color and with guns. So that's basically what it is. The only difference is that you can actually upgrade your weapons, and of course it's all surrounded by how you kill your enemies. So there's a lot of ways you can do them. Of course, it can be environmental, depending on what weapons you use, how the way you melee your enemy. It's a very fun game, and I hope that you all try it out. Next one is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Very fun racing game. I barely buy racing games in general, but this is really fun. Not only can you be a racer and just compete with other fellow racers, but you can also become a police officer and just start tracking down anyone who's illegally racing and all that other good stuff. And there's a lot of playability here. You have leaderboards, of course, and plus you can post your latest time trial, your latest time records, post them up on the wall. All your people on your friends list can check them out and see if they can beat them. You can post challenges to see like, hey, you know, if you can beat this, cool, and all that other good stuff. So It's a really fun racing game. Next is Divinity 2, Dragon Knight Saga. Got this for, well, $30. And I would say it's easily worth it. There's, like it says in the back, it's over 100 hours. 100 hours of gameplay. And the world is huge. This game is like heavily revolved around exploring and pretty much leveling up your characters, all typical RPG stuff. And of course you can't just go charging in, just fighting enemies. You have to be strategic about it. And like I said before, the world itself is like really huge. There's a really huge environment. Actually, it reminds me of Dragon Age Origins. It's very similar to that. So if you like Dragon Age Origins, I really suggest you give this a try. You might like it.
What? You can't be. You're not as tall as a troll.
Here's some other games that I bought, but I haven't tried them out yet. I just got back from GameStop. But this one is Brink. I wanted to try this out. First person shooter, co-op stuff. This one is House of the Dead 2 and 3 for the Wii, and I just needed a huge boost of nostalgia. That's basically what I wanted. So I'm glad that this is on here. Why they don't have the first House of the Dead, which started it all, I don't know. That's what kind of gets on my nerves. I guess you could say it's a pet peeve for a gamer, and this is one of them. A collection that doesn't have the first one that starts the whole thing off. I don't know why they do that. Maybe I'll do a game discussion on that. But yeah, this is a very fun arcade. Last but certainly not least, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, a huge collaboration of Genesis games in HD, which I really could care less about. But yeah, this collaboration of Sega games, all in one disc. What could go wrong? So that's it. Those are my pickups. And Streetscape signing out. And as always, take care.